Warm welcome. This is Marcus Termin at the 7th of February 2025, and today I do think it's remarkable that Chariklo, that's the asteroid, even being bigger than Chiron, does make a conjunction to Mercury. Mercury is actually sunburned. That means he's too close to the sun to give an objective message out there. But Chariklo, she was discovered in 1997, and the very day she was discovered, we had this absolutely beautiful aspect figure in the sky. And so we are thinking about what really does Chariklo do and what is Chariklo. This is the more important because it resulted that Chiron himself, or some say Chiron, the other centaur who is most important, he was discovered 1977, turned out to be most significant. All astrologers working with Chiron find out that this is really the wound in the chart. That is where somebody was hurted somehow and desperately needs healing. This is what Chiron shows. Of course, if somebody got over that and had the healing, he will be able to give out shamanistic reliefs to others if he went through the procedure. This is why Chiron was so important and is so important, and this is why Chariklo even deserves a closer look, because she's part of the same group of those centaurs, which are dwarf planets. You know, they are astronomically they are said to be in between asteroids and comets, which I think is a definition that is not quite clear. They have a very eccentric way to go around the sun. In the case of Chariklo, she's being in a resonance, in an exact resonance, 3 to 4 to Uranus himself. And when she was discovered, and that's the reason why I make a few words more today about her, she was in the sign of Leo, and we had a Gemini moon just like now. This was her discoverage with a Gemini moon. Interesting enough, also her discoverage showed Chiron in a position of opposition towards his own discovery. You see this here. What does it show? It shows Chiron in the sign of Scorpio at the discovery of Chariklo, which is outside, and Chiron himself in a straight opposition to the position where he was when Chariklo was discovered in 1997, and this is 1977. All right. It takes 33 years for Chariklo to go around a whole circle, and she has very different time to spend in each zodiac sign. This is the reason why, is because the ellipse it makes around, it's not an ellipse actually, it's not even a circle, but it's a spiral somehow, but this is very eccentric, you know, for this asteroid. And what does Chariklo mean? In my observation, and I'm observing only conjunctions of important planets and points with Chariklo in personal charts, I find out that this is a very important point for female self-consciousness in a way that goes far beyond what civilization has to offer to the concerned person right now. For those of you who might be interested in knowledge going deep down to matriarchy, take this book, because there's no better guide to those intentions and feelings going way back 3,500 years towards a period of time where actually people lived in a very different way and had absolute different moral attitudes, and our time, the understanding of our time, can only be done in a real and satisfying way. This is at least my understanding, if we go back to those old times and understand how and why moral attitudes changed, what happened throughout that time. We're speaking of a full, bright European culture that was all over the European continent, and we're speaking about a culture where the knowledge was not exactly written on paper, but we had science, we had symbols, we had astronomy. We're speaking about the Stonehenge ages, you know, and probably the priesthood of those ages was not even male, but we're talking about matriarchy. And as we can see in Greece, all the old sites of initiation like Delphi or Samothraki or Dendara had always been in the possession of women. And that is what makes again Chariklo that interesting. Remember, astrology is a set of 3 jumps, which is astrology, psychology and mythology. This is when astrology really took off for victory in those flower power times, with genius astrologers who just combined the 3 essences together and found out that there's no better philosophy of understanding the human being than astrology itself. Having said that, I will be happy to see you tomorrow again. If you like to have a consultation on my channel, I'd be happy about that too. It's easy to get in contact. Just use this mail address and mine, the DE at the end, because you're speaking to the genius German astrologer. Thank you for listening today. It's the 7th of February 2025.